Today we're looking at evaluating expressions with integers. The only difference is now some of the numbers we're plugging in are positives or negatives, some of them are. So the first example is a plus bc. Remember that bc means b times c. If a is -2, b is 3, and c is -4. So we're going to plug that in. I'm going to show every time I plug in a negative number, I need to put parentheses around it to make sure that I deal with the negative properly. So -2 plus b, which is 3, times c, -4. Now, after we plug it all in, we evaluate using the order of operations. Parentheses. There's nothing to do inside the parentheses. There's no exponents, so the next is multiplication. 3 times -4, opposite signs, so my answer is -12. And then lastly, I add. I have -2 plus -12. Same sign, so I'm going to add the 2 and the 12 to get 14. And our final answer should have the same sign as both problems, or both numbers, so that's -14 is my final answer. Notice how I'm showing my work. I expect to see that on your homework tonight. It doesn't have to be colored, but you do need to show your work. Number 2. We have c plus b squared minus a, where a is 5, b is -2, and c is -1. So we're going to start by plugging in -1 for c, so -1 plus b -2 squared minus a, which is 5. 5. Now we use the order of operations. Once again, there's nothing to do inside the parentheses. There's no plus or minuses or multiplication. It's just a number in there. So parentheses is not here. I do my exponent. Remember that -2 in parentheses squared means -2 times -2, which gives me a +4. Then I have -1 plus 4 minus 5. And then we add and subtract from left to right. So -1 plus 4, opposite signs, so I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 1 is 3, and the bigger number is positive, so that's +3. We don't have to write it if we don't want. Then minus 5, and 3 minus 5, I can change that to plus -5, and we have opposite signs, so we'll subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2, and the bigger number is negative, so my final answer is -2. Next example, the absolute value of x minus y equals when x equals -13 and y equals 5. So I have the absolute value of -13 minus y, which is 5, and absolute value of that. So absolute value is like parentheses. You have to do what's inside before you can do the absolute value. So we're going to do -13 minus 5. We're going to change that to plus -5. Now I have the same signs, so I'm going to add 13 and 5. So I get 18, and the same sign, so they're negative. So the absolute value of -18 equals 18. The next one, x squared minus 2 squared y plus z. I have x equals 3, y equals 4, and z equals -7. So we'll start x is 3, so 3 squared minus 2 times the square root of y, which is 4, plus z, -7. Order of operations again, there's nothing inside the parentheses, so we have exponents next, and we'll do those from left to right. 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 2 times the square root of 4 is 2, plus -7. Then we will do multiplication. Multiplication, 2 times 2 is 4, so 9 minus 4 plus negative 7. 9 minus 4, I don't need to change anything. 9 minus 4 is what I've always been doing, so it's 5 plus negative 7. And that equals different signs, so we're going to subtract. We get negative 7 minus 5 is 2, and 7 is bigger and it's negative, so my answer is negative 2. Next problem. A equals 8, B equals negative 3, C equals 11, and the problem is negative 3C divided by B minus A. So we have negative, oops, let me fix my colors here, negative 3 times C, which is negative 11, divided by B, negative 3, minus A, which is 8. So negative 3 times negative 11 is positive 33. The big fraction bar means do what's on top first, do what's on bottom, and then do the dividing. And then negative 3, we're going to change that to plus negative 8. Same sign, so 8 plus 3 is 11. They're both negative, so it's negative 11. And now we're going to divide. When I divide the opposite signs, I get a negative answer, and 33 divided by 11 is 3. And last example, we like this one a lot. It's part of our quadratic formula. It's an important thing to be able to evaluate. So A is negative 1, B is 3, and C is 4. So I get the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times A, which is negative 1, times C, which is 4. And I got to do what's underneath the square root first. 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 times negative 1. This is positive. We're going to treat that like plus a negative. And that becomes plus 4 times 4. And that becomes 9 plus 16, which is the square root of 25. And our final answer is 5.